Hey guys, this is Donnie from Team RynOke. I haven't brought y'all a deck profile in a while, but thought I'd bring y'all one this weekend. Friday night and Saturday night we went to two different tournaments, or Friday night and Saturday morning, and I played this deck because I was a little tired of playing Bujins, just a little wore out on them. This is actually the second deck I started playing whenever we started playing again last July. I got stomped all the time with it because I couldn't afford the extra deck, and I was just getting back into it. But it's Mecha Phantom Beast. It's one of my favorite archetypes for the two of you who are subscribed to us and didn't see me playing it all weekend. I did fairly well with it. I figured out a couple things I want to change it, and I'll discuss it as I'm going. I got third place Friday night. I lost to Spellbooks after a long duel, and then I lost to Girjas in the top 4. And then the next day we went to locals, and I went undefeated until I played Mermails in the last round, and I lost to them. And that got me third place at that tournament too. But I just figured I'd bring y'all the deck profile. First off, you always start with 3 Mega Raptors. I mean, you have to run 3. It's too good of a card. All Mecha Phantom Beasts have the effect where as long as you control a token, it could be a regular token or a Mecha Phantom Beast token, like these I ordered online. As long as you control a token, they cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. I'm sure most people are familiar with Draco Sack, but I still find people who didn't even know this was an archetype. They're like, oh, so they're little Draco Sacks. They based an archetype after them. I'm like, not really. Draco was their boss monster. Dragon Rulers just said, not anymore. He is ours, and we are going to make him $100. But they all have that effect, and they each all have 2 other effects. One they get to generate tokens, and then one usually to tribute tokens. For example, Mega Raptor. He's level 4, 1900 attack. Whenever he tributes a token, you essentially get to search out any other Mecha Phantom Beast from your deck. Doesn't matter its level or anything like that. He's essentially our Stratos, which is why it's so important. Along with that, anytime another monster summons a token, like one of the other Mecha Phantom Beasts summons a token, once per turn, he summons an additional token. So, for example, there's this other Mecha Phantom Beast, Tetherwolf. Whenever he's normal summoned, it generates a token. So if you have Mega Raptor and you normal summon him, Tetherwolf's effect will summon a token, and then Mega Raptor will summon another token. It's just real good for generating more tokens and more pluses. Another thing about the Mecha Phantom Beasts is, aside from the tuners and the Exceed, all of them gain levels equal to the level of Mecha Phantom Beast tokens. All Mecha Phantom Beast tokens are this specifically. They're 0/0s, machines, and they're level 3 winds. So if you have a Mega Raptor out, right now he's just a level 4 wind. If you have another token out, he's a level 7. If you get 2 out, he's a level 10. And then you get more than that, it doesn't really matter because you're not going to be doing anything with a level 13. But that's how they go into Draco Sack. So you have Mega Raptor, you summon Tetherwolf, get 2 tokens, tribute 1 to search, and then you have a level 7 to overlay to summon Draco Sack. That's their general goal throughout the game. And they can also summon rank 10s, which I'll get into here in a little bit. But opening Mega Raptor in your first hand with either a Scapegoat or an Aerial Recharge, which is a trap card that generates tokens, is generally your best play to start with. Then you also run 3 Tetherwolves, because like I said, whenever he's normal summoned, he just generates a token. It's probably the quickest token generation you have, aside from maybe the trap, but even that you have to set a turn. His other effect, whenever he battles any monster at all, so you say you summon him and you get a token, anytime he battles with a monster, you contribute a token to have him gain 800 attack. So if they attack him with Stardust, you contribute a token, he becomes a 25, and they clash. Or if you have 2 tokens out, yours survives because you still got the token out to prevent him from being destroyed by battle. But it's just real good to get over some problem monsters, some problem Exceeds, anything like that. It's just, really, he's your muscle and token generation. Sometimes I think 3's a little cloggy, but all in all, I'd rather have the 3 just to guarantee I get 1 or 2 Tetherwolves throughout the game. After that, I've got 2 of this one. This one's Harliard. I forgot to mention, Tetherwolf's original attack 17, so when he gains the 8, he's up to 25. But then you got Harleyard, who's an 1800 attack. Once per turn, you contribute a token to special summon any Mecha Phantom Beast from your hand. It doesn't matter if it's a level 7 one, level 4, level 3, 2, 1, any of them. He's to help you spam out your mechas. His other effect is whenever a token is tributed for one of your other Mecha Phantom Beast's effects or whatever, he'll generate a token. So say you've got out your Mega Raptor, you tribute it to search, he'll replace the token that you tribute. It's really one of the better plays just to have him out, that way you don't lose your token advantage, because in mechas you really don't want to have your monsters out without the token. There's a lot of spot removal and there's a lot of banishing cards, but not being able to destroy them still is a real hindrance to a lot of players. That's why most people hate Draco Sack. Along with Harleyard came this one, Mecha Phantom Beast Coltwing. It's one of the more difficult ones to use. It's not really difficult to use, it's just it can be dead a lot. His effect, whenever he's special summoned to the field, as long as you control another Mecha Phantom Beast monster, he'll generate 2 tokens. So he's one of the mechas who will give you 2 tokens as opposed to 1. Now, the problem is if you get him and you don't have a way to special summon him and have a mecha out, he's dead. He doesn't do anything in that scenario. But that's why you use Harleyard. Like, you'll tribute your token to summon him, get 2 tokens, and then Coltwing's other effect, you contribute 2 tokens to destroy and banish 1 card your opponent controls. So, say you've got these 2 out. You summon Harleyard, tribute a token, special summon Coltwing. Coltwing's effect gets you 2 tokens. Then you use Coltwing's effect to pop their back row or a problem monster. Harleyard's effect will replace that 1 token, and then they're level 7s, so you can overlay to make Draco Sack. These 2 came out at the same time, so they were pretty much made for each other, but there are a couple other plays with Coltwing I'll get to here in a second. I'm running 1 Mecha Phantom Beast Black Falcon. He's one of the weaker mechas. He's a 1200 attack, 1700 defense, so he's kind of fun to set, but you should almost never have to do that. His effect, though, as soon as you declare an attack, all you have to do is declare an attack with him. He will generate a token. And during either player's turn, so it's a quick effect, but during either player's turn, at any time you contribute a token to make one of your opponent's monsters change to face-up defense position. So it's a good way to see what they have set. It's a good way to stop them from attacking. So say they summon a monster and they go to attack your token, you can distribute that token and switch their monster to defense mode. That way you still get use out of the token. Or another benefit to it is, like, say you summon Black Falcon and set Scapegoat. Their turn, you activate Scapegoat, giving you 4 goats. Well, if they're not going to be able to attack you unless they can attack you more than 4 times. Although I think it's once per turn. Yeah, so I'm stupid there. It's only once per turn, but still, it's a real good way to control your opponent's field and keep them from getting at you too much. It's just basically a good way to lock them down. A lot of people like to run 2 or even 3 Black Falcons. I just run the 1 because I'm more about the token spamming than controlling the field. But other Mecha Phantom Beasts are the only level 3 I run is Mecha Phantom Beast Hamstrap. His effect, whenever you set him, so whenever he's flip face up, like either you flip summon him or they attack into him, he generates 2 Mecha tokens. So usually if you start with, so like open turn, you set it, they might think it's a Gears Armor or anything else. If they attack it, your mecha will be destroyed if you don't control any other tokens. But after it's destroyed and all that resolves, you'll still get your 2 tokens. Normally you don't really want your Hamstrat to be destroyed by that, but it's still not bad to set up your next turn plays. His other effect is if you have Hamstrat out and you have a token, you contribute the token to special summon any Mecha Phantom Beast from your grave. And there's no restrictions on that. You can summon the level 7, you can summon Draco Sack. It won't have any materials, but it'll just be a 2600 beat stick. You can summon the Synchro, all of those monsters I'll get into here in a second. But he's essentially the reborn for the deck. Worst part about him is that he's level 3. So when a token's out, he's a level 6. When there's 2 tokens out, he's a level 9. you're not going to exceed with him very much. You could synchro, you could, that's pretty much it. You'll probably just use him for synchroing or to use Draco Sack's effect. But he is not quite as compatible with the others for exceeding. I run one Warbler in. This is the only tuner I run. It's pretty good. I'm starting to like it less and less the more I play. But it's still just really good to have that option. Like, you can use this with a Scapegoat token to make Formula Synchron, which nets you a draw, a level 2 tuner, and then his effect, if he's used to Synchro Summon a machine monster, then he'll generate a Mecha Phantom Beast token. And also, he's got another effect where once per turn you can banish a Mecha Phantom Beast monster, and then, no, you can tribute one other Mecha Phantom Beast monster to increase his level by 1 to make him a level 2. And also, whenever you use him for a machine type synchro, you cannot special summon anything other than wind monsters for the rest of the turn. So that first mecha, that first synchro summon doesn't have to be a wind monster, but every special summon you do after has to be a wind. So it's a little constricting, that's why I only run the one. But still, he can help you a lot, because him with a token makes Armory Arm. Him with a Mecha Phantom Beast out that's got a token out makes any 8. Him with Hamstrat can make a 7, a 4, all sorts of plays. That's all the Mecha Phantom Beasts I run. Other than that, I've got 2 Veilers, just because Veilor's really good this format. Real good at slowing down your opponent. It's Veilor. I mean, most people have to run them in most decks nowadays. And that's all for my monsters. I believe that's 16 monsters. Because mechas need to run... You gotta get your monsters. If you don't get any of your monsters, you're gonna lose. That's just how that works. Starting with my spells, I run 3 Scrambles. Now, I got this idea from another guy whose video I watched, I'll admit. But it's just Scramble with a deck that focuses on spamming out your tokens is too good. Like, opening turn, the play that the guy showed me, is the reason why I do it. Opening turn, say you set the Hamstrat, they run it over, you're going to lose the Hamstrat. But you'll get 2 tokens. And now Scramble's effect specifically is if your opponent controls more monsters than you do that are not tokens, so not counting your tokens, if your opponent controls more monsters than you, you can tribute as many Mecha Phantom Beast tokens as you want. So say you activate it, they control 1 monster, you control 2 tokens. Activate it, tribute both tokens, you can special summon any of your Mecha Phantom Beasts that you want. Normally, you're going to want to special summon probably Harleyard and Coltwing, because that'll get you. Because Coltwing's effect will generate you 2 more tokens. And then during the end phase of that turn, though, those monsters are returned to the deck. So you'll usually want to exceed with them before the end of the turn. So you get this out, you'll do that play I mentioned earlier where you'll want to tribute the 2 tokens to pop something for Coltwing's effect. And then Harleyard's effect will summon another token. And then you got your Draco play. It's a real good way to spam out your Draco or Big Eye or any rank 7s you may want to play at the time. But Scramble is just real good. Like, for example, I had an opponent trying to attack and kill one of my tokens. I scrambled, and then brought out a Coltwing to give me 2 more tokens instead. And then Coltwing returned to the deck during the end phase. But it's just more about generating more tokens and getting your mechas out of your deck quicker, so on and so forth. That's why I run 2 Coltwings instead of just the 1. That way, I've always got a target for Scramble. After that, I run 1 Book of Moon. I run 2 MSTs for back row hate. I'm trying to find a way to put a 3rd MST in here, but honestly I think 2's enough, since half of the back row can't hurt mechas if there are tokens out. I run just 2 Scapegoats. I think 3's a little cloggy. It's just too good because you get your token generation, and then the Mecha Phantom Beast effects where they tribute tokens, they can use any tokens. So Scapegoat makes all of them live, as well as the trap card I'm about to show you in a second. But I also run 2 Pot of Dualities. Now, I mean, this deck special summons a lot, but honestly, you need to get to your monsters fast. You need to get to your trap cards fast. You need to get your deck milled out pretty quick, which is why I run Pot of Duality for those earlier plays. And there will be plenty of times where you've already got your field set up with Draco and you just want to Pot of Duality into an MST or something like that. The last two spells, making my spell count 12, is Magical Planner, or Magic Planner. This spell card is a card from Raging Battle. You activate it and you send a continuous trap card, like say Fiendish Chain, to the graveyard to draw 2 cards. Now, in this game, whenever you Fiendish Chain something, it's going to be exceeded with. They're going to get rid of that, and you'll usually have a dead Fiendish Chain. But I run 6 continuous spell traps in this deck, which makes these live. Most of the time they're not dead. Every once in a while they are, but more often than not, I want them. I want to have these cards. So they're pretty solid. Because Mecha's worst case, biggest problem they have, is they can't draw. They don't have speed, and that really helps them out. But my trap lineup is also 12. I run 3 aerial recharges. This trap card is for mechas. It's their theme trap. Whenever you activate it, once per turn, you can special summon 1 Mecha Phantom Beast token. So that'll give you another one if Mega Raptor's out or anything like that. And then during each player's end phase, so during your end phase and your opponent's, you have to tribute either a Mecha Phantom Beast or a token. So, like I mentioned earlier, Scapegoats, if those are out, you can tribute those for this. Otherwise, you destroy this card. Sometimes it's good if they try to MST it, you chain it, you get 1 free token, and then if this is gone, you don't have to tribute the token. Sometimes on your turn, just activate it, get a token, and then you can Magic Planner it, and then you still get your draws. Aerial Recharge is really helpful for setting up those early plays. And also just for destruction. I mean, if they're going to destroy your monster, chain that so you get a token out before it does. And also, earlier this weekend I had a guy try to creature swap me, and I aerial recharge to get a token out, and then I just gave him the token. Then I run the 3 Fiendish Chains, like I said. Effect negation is really important in this format. And even if they just exceed with it and leaves it dead, you've got Magic Planner to clear it off your field and get +2. And get a well, it doesn't really +1, but you're still able to negate the effect, and then you get to draw 2 cards off of it, as opposed to it being dead as it normally would. Other than that, I run 2 7 tools, because if they keep my monster from getting out with Solemn Warning, or they try to compulse, or anything like that, it's just good to have a trap, 7 tools to stop them, especially if you're playing against Mermails, stop that Abyss Sphere, all sorts of stuff like that. It's just really good. I'll usually side these out in game 2 or 3, and I'll put in 3 Royal Decrees, which make my Magic Planners more live, and it just helps out a lot. I only run 1 Mirror Force, then I run 1 Torrential, 1 Bottomless, and 1 Solemn Warning. And that's pretty much my trap lineup. I don't like 2 Mirror Forces. I haven't for a while. I just don't like having that many traps that are conditional to set off. But and then I'm got my extra deck. My rank 4s, just basic ones like Exciton, Knight, number 101, Abyss Dweller for Bujins and Mermails. Then I run 2 Lightning Chidoris. I don't run Gear Gig and X because usually Mega Raptor will give me my machines quick enough. But Chidori is just too good, where you get to bounce their set card, and then if you have the chance to detach for his effect, you get to bounce it face up. I run 2 Dracos. I was running 3, but I felt like I wanted more rank 4s, and I never need more than 2. I have yet to be in a duel where I need to go into a 3rd Draco, and I'm able to. Usually by then I'm out of resources. When I run the 1 Big Eye. I made a Dark World player pretty salty this weekend because every time I had a rank 7, he's like, "Oh, you're going to go Draco." I'm like, "No, I'm going to go Big Eye. Steal your and still Grapha because I don't want that in his grave." But then you want to run 110, 1 rank 10, Super Dreadnought, Rail Cannon, Gustav Max, because well, he's a big hitter, and then if you detach, your opponent takes 2,000 points of damage. It's just a real good finisher. It's like a souped-up cowboy. And you can make it if you have 2 tokens out and 2 mechas. Got my Synchros, Formula, Armory Arm, Catastor, Black Rose for field clearing, Scrap Dragon, because if you target because with Scrap Dragon, if you target a mecha while a token's out, they don't get destroyed, and then you just get a free pop on your opponent. Conqueruda here is great. He doesn't get protected by tokens, he does the opposite. And when he's destroyed, you get to summon a token, or you destroy all your tokens, and you get to special summon a Mecha from your grave.